What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. My name is Ryan Roots and I am a professional online reseller. We make a full-time living buying stuff and then selling stuff online. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how to make $1 million reselling stuff online. Now, before I jump into today's video, I just want to say that there's a lot of different ways to make money online. And just because we do something one way and you do something a different way doesn't mean that we're right and you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you're right and we're wrong. There's many different ways to build a successful online business. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about 3 models that we know that work really well. But we're also learning every single day. So we're not the end all and be all. There's lots of different ways to make money online. So just keep that in mind as you're watching today. Also, you do not need to make $1 million reselling stuff online to be happy. We know a lot of people who sell stuff on eBay or Amazon or Facebook Marketplace and make a couple $100 extra per month. And there's really nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, I think that some of the time that's better. I don't think that everybody should be a full-time reseller like us. It takes a ton of hard work to build to a full-time income, and it's just not right for everybody. So just because you are not striving to be a millionaire selling stuff online doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. Keep doing what you're doing, make a little bit of extra income. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, so with that being said, let's talk about a few different models that we know work if you're trying to make $1 million reselling stuff online. And please do me a favor, guys and girls, smash the thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. I put a lot of hard work into organizing this information into a good, concise video for you. So I would really appreciate it if you just smash that thumbs up button for me, and let's jump into this. So model number 1 is probably one that a lot of you are familiar with. It's buying items one at a time from thrift stores, garage sales, estate sales, auctions, basically buying something one at a time, listing it on platforms like eBay or Amazon or Mercari or Facebook Marketplace, and selling things one at a time. So this is a great model for when you first start out reselling. It's how we started as well. We went to garage sales with $200, but I do think it's a hard model to perfect in scale. So let's break it down. So I actually want to give you a real life example. So today on our eBay store, we sold this Rain & Spooner shirt, and we sold this pair of men's Uggs shoes. Both of these items were sourced at local Goodwill stores. The shirt we paid $5 for, the shoes we paid $10 for. The shirt sold for $36 free shipping, and the shoes sold for a total of $46 with the item price and the shipping combined together. So if you take these 2 real life items as examples, after we ship them out, after we pay for our fees, after we pay for the cost of goods, we're left with a combined gross profit of $40 for these 2 items. So if you average that out, that's $20 gross profit per item. So now let's take this little model of 2 items and let's scale it up. So $1 million, if you take $1 million and divide it by $20 average profit per item, that gives us 50,000 items. So that means you would need to do this same thing 50,000 times to make $1 million. It also means you'd need to purchase more than 50,000 items because not everything sells instantly when you put it out online. So let's keep that model going. Let's say you wanted to do $1 million this year. You said, Ryan, I want to make $1 million this year sourcing stuff from thrift stores and garage sales and estate sales one at a time. Is it possible? So first of all, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you have an amazing sell-through rate. So when you buy stuff, you're buying it right, you're looking up comps, you're buying highly desirable items, and when you're listing them, they're selling fairly fast. So to sell 50,000 items, again, benefit of the doubt, let's say you only have to source 55,000 items. Well, if we go back to our 2 items, the shirt and the shoes, if you average that out, our cost of goods, we paid again $10 and $5. So divided by 2, that's $7.50 cost of goods per item. And again, I said you would need to buy 55,000 items to make this work. So $7.50 times 55,000, you're spending $412,500 per year just to source the items. You guys following that? I'm trying to take it slow and kind of break these numbers down in an easy way to understand. But yeah, so you would be spending over $400,000 just on items. The second part to that is you have to have a place to source those items. So assuming you're able to get good profitable items in your local community, you would need to source and list 1,057 items per week. So if you did that model starting now, your weekly sourcing budget would need to be $8,000 a week starting out. You would also need to list 150 items per day, 7 days a week. You would also need to be able to ship out 137 items a day, 7 days a week. So again, is this model doable? Yeah, I mean, it totally is. There's people doing it out there. On paper, the numbers are there. They're broken down. They work. If you have the inventory and you can get it listed and get it sold and get it shipped, it's a doable model. Is it one that we recommend? No. I think that working that hard 7 days a week and spending that much money purely to make money and nothing else, because I mean, listen, if you're working 7 days a week listing and shipping, you're not going to have a life. So you'd be making $1 million, but you would have no life. So at the cost of what? Now, that being said, if you take that same model and you stretch it out instead of 1 year, let's say you did the same thing, but you did it over 10 years, still making $100,000 a year income, which is really, really good for most people. But now instead of doing all the work in 1 year, you're just stretching it out over 10 years. That's still a really healthy income for most people. And if you break it down, if you look at it, you would only be shipping out 14 items a day. So I think that that's a much more attainable goal than, one person trying to do it all themselves and, hoard money. Obviously, if you got to that scale, you could hire more people and do things differently. There's very few people doing it that way and actually like grinding and working themselves to death. I think most people, as they get to a certain point, they go, okay, let's hire some help. Let's, get someone else to list for me. Let's get someone else to ship for me. So there's definitely ways to do it so that you can still make money and scale up. But if you look at it that way, if you're still able to do that, source stuff from garage sales and thrift stores, you can still make a nice, healthy $100,000 a year spread out over 10 years. It's really, I mean, it's not easy, but it's also far more attainable than, grinding out, driving all over and trying to find 150 items a day. And if you agree, let me know in the comments. That's just one model. We're going to talk about 2 other models, but that's one way that it is 100% possible to make $1 million selling stuff online. All right, so I hope you all are enjoying the video so far. Again, please do me a favor, guys. Smash that thumbs up button for me. I'd really appreciate it. And I just want to take 30 seconds really quick to let you guys know that our next round of mentoring is coming up on June 15th is when we start, but on June 1st is when you'll be able to sign up for that class. You can go to ralliroots.com/mentoring. I'll put a link in the description area of this video as well. And our mentoring is a month-long direct training. We have a bunch of videos where we teach you A to Z, how to resell, how to start, to how to find wholesalers, to how to scale your business. Pretty much everything that we've done in our business, we teach in that program. We only take on 75 people at a time, and it's perfect for beginners to intermediate sellers, I would say. If you're already making $1 million a year selling stuff online, probably don't join our mentoring, but if you need help getting to the next point, or if you need help starting, it's perfect for you. I'm personally really excited to jump into this round of mentoring. We've redone a lot of our videos and added so much more content to it. And we just have like a ton we can teach you guys. We started our business with $200 and we've personally sold over $1 million online. So I do feel like we are qualified to teach you guys how it's done. Anyway, guys, link in the description of this video. You can go to the website. There's a bunch of testimonials on there from past students as well. So we're looking forward to working with the next group of 75 people, and let's jump back into this video. All right, so we talked about kind of the hard way to do it, one-off items one at a time, listing them on eBay or Amazon one at a time. Now let's talk about a bit of an easier way to do it, which is wholesale. So reaching out to the right people, making the right connections, and purchasing items in bulk quantity. Now, when it comes to finding wholesalers, Google is your best friend. No reseller is going to give you their wholesale connections. It's taken us years and years and lots of money to develop our wholesale connections. So I'm not just going to hand you a list and say, hey, go buy from these people. It does take time and dedication to figure it out, and that is something that we do teach in our mentoring program as well. But you can go out there and just Google, make the connections, call the right people, email the right people, and you will eventually find wholesalers who will deal with you. So now when it comes to wholesale, I would suggest shooting for a higher average sales price. You have to remember, when you're buying in bulk, your margin is going to be quite a bit less. It's not going to be, spending $5 on a shirt to sell for $30. It's going to be more like spending $30 an item to sell for $60. So going on that model, let's break that down. Let's say that you're able to source items from a legitimate wholesaler for $30 cost of goods that you can sell for $60. So after fees, after shipping, just like before, let's say you're able to gross profit about 16 bucks per item. So now it's actually more items that you need to source at a higher price, right? So it'd be 62,500 items that you would need to source. The difference is, and it's the only difference, the biggest difference, the difference is you don't have to go out and source the items. The items are coming to you in bulk quantity and sometimes in multiples as well. So instead of buying one item at a time, I can buy 100 of the same item and I don't have to go and find them. They're coming directly to me. So let me give you another real life example. This is a Braun Multi-Quick 7. We've sold, in the past year, I think we've sold something like 152 of these units. They sell for an average of $55 for us, and our purchase price on them is 15 bucks a unit. So after fees and after shipping, we're averaging about $22 profit, gross profit, per unit. But again, keep in mind, we can buy multiples of them. We could buy them 100 at a time, and it's one listing. It's one SKU. It's not 100 different items. It's all the same item. It's one listing that we just replenish over and over and over again. So if you're using the wholesale or bulk model, once you have a couple hundred, 200 to 300 SKUs all doing the same thing, making you $20 plus profit per item and all selling at the same rate, there's your $1 million right there. You can literally do it instead of on 60,000 individual items. You can literally do it on 300 unique SKUs. So again, that's just a different model, but it still gets the same result. You can still get to $1 million a year scaling that way instead of doing it one at a time. Now, here's the other thing though. Going out and doing the treasure hunting, going to thrift stores and garage sales and estate sales, the reason why we still do that today is because it's fun, right? I can sit back on my computer and I can order wholesale all day long, but it's boring, right? And at the end of the day, like, we don't want to just be a logistics company. There's a lot of big sellers out there that all they do, their job is getting product in, sorting the product out, finding cheap ways to ship it back out. And it's just not a fun thing for me. So I think a healthy mixture of, different ways of making money is fine. But I personally still love the thrill of going out to a thrift store, finding a super cool vintage shirt for $5 that I can sell for 100. And then speaking of, the final model that I'll share with you guys, which I think is kind of like the last step in becoming a full-time or successful reseller, is wholesaling stuff to other resellers. So you now become the wholesaler, or you now become the bulk supplier. So keep in mind with that, selling to other resellers or bulk supplying other sellers, that's an even smaller profit margin. So, we may spend $10 million to make $1 million. So it may only be like a 10% actual profit margin when you start getting to scale. But when that happens, again, it becomes a large amount of product all coming in at once, and you have to have the resources to be able to get it out very quickly as well. And you have to be able to supply people with product that they can also move for a decent amount of profit. So our current business now, as it stands, I think is a healthy mixture of all three models, right? So we still go out thrifting to garage sales. We still like to buy things one-off and list them and make a higher profit margin. We also still like to buy wholesale or bulk and list the items that way, multiple different SKUs in quantity, listing them online and replenishing them as they come in. And then we also do like to buy stuff in bulk, break it down into smaller lots and sell it on to other resellers. So we have our hands in all three different models, and they all come together and they all work for us. And I think that it's also important for us anyway to do it that way, because if for some reason one thing starts to fall off, like for example, when thrift stores close, when there are no garage sales, our other methods of making money, we can dump more effort and put more resources into those other ways so that our business is still sustaining. So like I said at the beginning of this video, there's many different ways to win in this business. Our way isn't always the right way. Your way isn't always the right way either, but we're all growing and learning together, and that really is what this is all about. So anyway, guys and girls, I appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death with the numbers. Hopefully you learned a little something from this video. I really do appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed yet, and we will see you next time. I'm Ryan Roots. Peace out, guys. Thanks. Bye.